Hi, beautiful. Today we are talking about Yoga Nidra. What is Yoga Nidra? What is a resolve? And what are some of the benefits and uses of a Yoga Nidra practice? Now, Yoga Nidra is something that I have experienced in the last 15 years of my yoga practice, and it's something I was trained in during my 200-hour yoga teacher training in India. Now, it's available on YouTube. You can find these practices, and I found myself over the years suggesting and recommending a Yoga Nidra practice to many people, especially people who were struggling to adopt a meditation practice and we're still interested in it. It's a great place to start. Also, for people who are having mental and emotional issues, problems with mood, with insomnia, Yoga Nidra is an amazing, amazing tool for all of those things. During my time in India, it was one of my most favorite parts of the training, and I absolutely loved my training. So that really does say a lot about it. It is a wonderful practice for relaxation, for stress management, and also for manifestation of your desires, which is awesome. It's a manifestation tool. So we'll be talking about how to manifest those desires and getting deeper into the practice. So, what is Yoga Nidra? Is it yoga? What's Nidra? So, it is a tantric practice that emerged in the 1960s. It was brought to the West by Satyananda, and he is a yogi who used it to transfer, transmit, and share information with his students. How cool is that? Nidra is based out of the concept of nyasa, which might not be the correct pronunciation of that word. My Sanskrit is not good. So, nyasa, which means withdrawal. It is part of the fifth limb of yoga. There are 8 limbs, so yoga is more than just asanas. It's more than just like warrior 2 dude, or like, oh my god, I can do a headstand or a handstand or this really cool pose that I'm posting on Instagram. Y'all, there are 8 limbs of it. It is some deep, awesome, amazing stuff, and this is part of the 5th limb of yoga, which is pratyahara. Again, my Sanskrit might not be 100% correct. And pratyahara means withdrawal from false self, doubts, personality, and ego. And you might be thinking, destroy the ego, which is like, no, that's not what I said. It's withdrawal from ego, from personality, from doubts, from this false self that we all create to function in human bodies as spiritual beings having a human experience in this dimension. So it's a withdrawal from ego so that we can better observe ego. We can observe the workings of the false self so that we are not just being run by the programs of the false self unconsciously like little robot zombie people, right? We don't want to be like that. We want to be awake and conscious and making choices, not just being run by programs. So it's not ego destruction. Ego is not the enemy per se, okay? It's more about like ego integration, ego awareness, withdrawal from ego so we can better understand ego and be able to work with ego and negotiate and navigate ego in everyday life. So this is a practice of more integration, of withdrawal, with the end function being higher and greater integration. So, benefits of Yoga Nidra, as I mentioned, relaxation, stress management, and manifestation of desires. Ding, 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 ding. You might really be into that last one. I know when I heard about that, I was like, dang, Yoga Nidra is more than like just relaxation and helping me sleep. Yes, y'all, it is so, so powerful. Like, firsthand experience right here. It work. So let's talk about how does it work, or how you can get it to work. I can't really transmit necessarily the mechanics of how it works, but I can help show you the way of how to apply the principle so that it can work for you. So in Yoga Nidra, practices that you might find online or have in a class, or the one that I will ultimately be sharing with you on this channel, there is a moment, usually in the beginning little bit, where the instructor instructs you to go ahead and set your resolve. And you might be like, resolve? What the heck is a resolve? What does resolve mean? Resolve is basically like your intention, your desire, your need, the reason, what you want to cultivate and bring to fruition through this practice, because you're not just doing it to do it, right? There can be a deeper reason and intention that you are doing it for. So you want to focus, say you have a problem, right? You want to quit smoking, for example. You want to focus on the solution when you are saying your resolve in your mind. In your mental voice to yourself. So focusing on the solution. I need healthy habits for healthy lungs, rather than I want to quit smoking. Okay? It's kind of like affirmations in that way. You want to frame it in a positive way rather than in a I want to quit smoking, or I want to quit drinking, or I want to quit eating cooked food, or whatever it is. I want to stop binge eating. So reframe the desire to be the truth. It's not exactly an affirmation. I was taught affirmations impinge on willpower and ego. Like I said, quit smoking or something like that. Quit binge eating. Ego, willpower. Those are strengthening those things. This is like transcending ego and willpower. It's something deeper. And what my teacher said, I love this. This is so cool, y'all. Prove to God or the universe that you need nothing, and God or the universe, spirit, source will give you everything. How cool is that? Prove to source that you need nothing, and source will give you everything. Prove to God that you need nothing, and God will give you everything. Use your own language and let that settle in. How beautiful is that? How that cultivates this sense of abundance, this truth of abundance in our universe, in our experience in human bodies. So when you're contemplating your Yoga Nidra resolve, you want to sift your desires into wants and needs. Like, I want a perfect body versus I need to be healthy. Ensure that your resolve is a need. Needs are the priority. And ensure that your resolve fits into one of the 4 yogic goals of life. And these are pretty basic, even if you don't consider yourself a yogi or something. And these are dharma, your duty, your role, kind of your job, career, purpose, meaning category. Well, more of the purpose and meaning. Artha is wealth. That would be more of your career, your job, how you cultivate abundance in your life, money. Kama, which is pleasure. So cultivating more pleasure, connection, recreation, love, romantic love, enjoyment through the senses. And then lastly is Moksha Liberation. This is the fun one. This is the one when I was at my yoga training, I was like, I want Moksha. I don't care about any of the other ones. Which the other ones are really important too. But Moksha might be your focus right now. And that is totally fine. That is liberation. That is enlightenment. That is spiritual attainment. And y'all, it's a good one. What can I say? You want to also make sure that your resolve is in alignment, in accordance with the yamas and niyamas. And if you've taken a yoga training, you know what those are. There are, I think, 4 to 8 of each of those. And essentially they are yogic principles and ethics. So I'm not going to go through what those are right now. Maybe in a future video, comment if you want a video on yamas and niyamas, and we can make that happen. But essentially, make sure it's grounded in ethics. So you wouldn't want your resolve to be, I want my mother-in-law to die. I mean, that's okay. That's not a good one. Focus on ethically grounded resolves, and those will come true with practice. Example resolves. I wish to be healthy. I wish to be happy. I wish to be whole, complete, safe, at peace, free from suffering. Those are kind of the Buddhist meditation type resolves. I wish to merge with the divine. I wish to be enlightened. I wish to be free. I wish to be liberated. I need a quiet mind. That was mine during and after my yoga training. It was, I need a quiet mind. I worked with that one for at least a couple months. And while I was at the yoga training, we were doing Yoga Nidra every day. So I was working with it intensively for a month. And I can tell you, it happened. And I even stopped practicing Yoga Nidra, and it has still carried with me. So that's how powerful this practice is. My mind was really, really, really screwed up and really, really busy and really, really anxious and fearful and angry and full and chattering all the time, and it quieted down substantially. Granted, I started meditating like 4.5 hours a day, but it happened. Life circumstances took shape around me, and I brought this willingness and readiness. So I co-created with the universe, I co-created with God with this intention to manifest that desire for a quiet mind. So again, it's a really, really powerful practice, and speaking from personal experience, it can work. So you only want to work with one resolve at a time. So you really do want to be very intentional about this and think about what your resolve is. And then as you practice Yoga Nidra on a daily basis, or however often you practice, daily is best, is optimal. You want to just work with that one intention until it comes to fruition, and then maybe it's time for a different one. Yoga Nidra is a practice of letting go on every level. So during the practice of Yoga Nidra, you can't control the voice of the teacher. You can't control the pace the teacher is giving you instructions. And you'll see what I mean when I am the teacher giving you instructions. You can't control the instructions themselves. They are what they are. And so in that sense, it really is a practice of letting go of control. And control is something we love so much, myself included. So it's really, really good practice of letting go and loosening your grip on control, and more of this divine merging with a higher power, with God, with source, with spirit, with the energies of the universe, with the field. It's a really good practice for when you're not in a good mood. When, say, you sit down to meditate because you think that's the right thing to do, but you're like, and it's such a struggle, you might want to try Yoga Nidra instead. It's going to be relaxing, it's going to be de-stressing. It's great for when you can't sleep at night, rather than switching on the Netflix or the YouTube videos that are like telling you information. Switch on a Yoga Nidra practice video and do that. Because in the nighttime it can be hard to just meditate or do something more spacious. It can be helpful to have a guided practice like Yoga Nidra that will relax you and will help you sleep and will help you even sleep better. It may even lead to lucid dreams or some kind of bonus thing like that. It's also really good for anxiety. So, I hope this video helps clear up for you what Yoga Nidra is, where does it come from, what is a Yoga Nidra resolve, how does it help with manifestation, and when is it a good tool for. And this will kind of set the stage for, like I said, when I will share with you very soon a Yoga Nidra practice that you can start to work with. So start thinking about your resolve, and if you'd like to share it, please share it in the comments. I would love to know what your resolve is and even help you kind of crystallize it if you are open to that kind of guidance. So thank you so much for watching. Like this video if you like it, subscribe for more, and yeah, check out the links in the description. There's lots of good stuff there. My recipe books are there, blogs, other resources. And yeah, in the meantime, take care. Much love to you. Namaste.